Dalai Lama ji says, we need healers, storytellers. We need compassionate beings, not just the degrees. Let us not lose our health in the pursuit of wealth, power, name, position, etc. So today's guest is very special. She deals with all the top leaders, CEOs, MDs, and can give us instant relief. She has experience of over 15 years and she knows how it feels like. Very inspiring, a giver, compassionate human being, a leader, a global star, an author, has worked and shared stage with Jack Canfield, Joe Vitale. So let's welcome Shalini Joshi Yamdagni. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sunny. It's so good to be here. And I've been smiling before even I got onto the interview because I know I'm going to be with Sunny. Smiling Sunny. Thank you so much. Honored.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, you have done a lot in your life, healing with energy, healing with nature, healing yourself. Please tell us something about your beautiful journey.
Okay, so yes, 15 years ago, basically, I had been diagnosed with an illness. It was called costochondritis. And basically what it was every time I took a deep breath, I had a pinprick pain in my left rib. And so I thought it was nothing, but when I went to the doctor, they said costochondritis, inflammation of a ligament that connects the ribs and the breastbone. And they said, it's okay, it's not a big deal. It's just have these medicines and you'll be fine. So I took the medicines and I wasn't fine. The pain was still there after a week. I went back and they said, oh, sometimes it takes longer, everybody's different. And so I said, okay, so they gave me some stronger medications for a longer period of time. But what I noticed was that the pinprick pain in my left rib wasn't just in my left rib anymore. It was spreading to my whole left rib area. And I freaked out. So I went back and I changed the doctor. And I said, look, this is what's happening. And he says, oh, do you spend long hours on the computer? And I said, yes, I do. He said, oh, that's why, because, the weight of your hands is on your shoulders, and that's what is contributing to this pain. What I suggest is you buy chair with adjustable handrest so that your hand is supported, and, then that should help, and then keep taking the medications. So this saga went on. Nothing really shifted despite a very expensive chair that I bought with adjustable handrests. And then I went to doctor, and they said, so what was happening was, as I was going to these different doctors, the pain was increasing from left rib to right rib to back to neck, to like I couldn't turn my head without a lot of pain. So now I had rib support and neck support. And eventually nothing got better despite whatever they told me to try: ultrasound therapy, change the pillow, change the mattress, and all of the things that, everything that they suggested. Nothing worked. And they said, just quit your job and be on bed rest indefinitely. And I said, okay, like what happens next? And they said, if nothing changes, then surgery. But even if I did the surgery, there was no guarantee that I would heal, or I would be, I would recover from this disease and this pain. So it was a very dark phase of my life because my kids were just 5 and 6. And, a mother is the center of a house.
Yes.
And you're the core caregiver and taker and whatever. And so it was a very, very, really horrible phase of my life where I was just sitting on bed, and I thought, Thailand, as you've come here, is known for medical tourism. So a lot of people come here to get treatments. And I thought, if all these medical experts in Thailand can't figure out what to do with me, that means I'm stuck here for good. And I'll never be able to be with my kids. I'll just watch people walk by, and my life is just going to pass me by anyway. Interestingly, to cut the long story short, I happened to discover this tool online, Emotional Freedom Techniques. Actually, it was given as a reference by a seminar that I attended. And the guy was talking about how your thoughts create your reality, and how your thoughts create your relationships, and how your thoughts create your disease. And then, the whole story is there in my book. But as I went to him and I said, look, I'm in so much pain. What do I do? He said, try EFT. He didn't practice it. He was a hypnotherapist, but he had heard wonderful things about EFT. So I went that evening from that seminar and Googled what is EFT. There was only one website back then in the whole planet, emofree.com. And I Googled it, I downloaded the 89-page manual, and I started reading it. And even as I applied it based on what it said in the text, I noticed instant shifts in my pain levels. Like, I used to be in pain all over my upper body. So just doing the basic tapping process that they describe, which looked really strange. And I was thinking, if all the medical experts couldn't help me, how is this silly thing going to do anything for me? But I was desperate. I was a desperate mom who just wanted my life back, so I could be a regular mom to my kids, and just walk and go to the park with my kids and swim with my kids. So I tried it, and instantly I noticed my neck doesn't hurt so much. My shoulder feels less tense. And, I described this whole story in my book, but I was so shocked that something so simple can help me shift pain levels without just sitting on my bed. Uh, you know, I ordered all their DVDs in their video library, and once I got the videos, I sat every day. My kids would leave for school from 8, and I would sit in front of the video and watch these videos, where there were 16 of them, very intense, deep, about using EFT for serious diseases and this and that, and water phobia and fears and chronic diseases. And I would watch and I would make notes and I would try it on myself, just based on what they were saying. It wasn't about my disease, but I could get a pattern of how they're using it. And I started using it on myself. And within 2 months, I was free of my disease, I was free of my pain, and I sort of discovered my purpose and my calling to not only heal people, but equip and empower everyday normal people. I was just a mom, a regular mom, going to a job. And it was so empowering that
Yes.
I wanted to like tell everybody, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Mom can do it, your kids can do it, your grandparents can do it. So I discovered my purpose, and yeah, it's been 15 years now.
And you have taught this secret to the kids as well. So please tell
Yeah,
us about your book. If you can show us your book and tell us about it. What
yeah.
have you
So
covered? Wow.
this is instant pain relief, and it's a simple and effective approach to healing chronic pain. And the thing is, even though it says chronic pain, what I've discovered is, so the book basically is two parts. Part one is just my journey on what happened, and because I wanted to tell that story to inspire other people who are in chronic pain, and to make them realize that chronic pain is not just about physical pain, which is what I thought. And that was the mistake I was making. And that's why I was stuck in pain for so long, because I just kept treating it physically.
Yeah.
It's the medication is not working. Try this, try that. And everything that I was using was some outside thing, ointment or injection or whatever. But I never realized that chronic pain is multi-layered. You're not just body, you're not a robot, you're mind, body, spirit. And
Yes.
what you're feeling is going to affect your body, and what's going on in your body is going to impact you mentally and emotionally. And so you're a triune being. And so you need to address, and so I share in part one, like how stressed I was. I hated my job, I hated my I felt stagnated in my job, and I felt like
uh,
I just hated. And but I didn't know my passion. I didn't know my purpose. At 38, I said, like, what are you doing with your life? You're just drifting aimlessly. You have no idea what you're doing. And I used to watch Saregama, and I used to think, oh, these young kids, they already know what they're doing with their lives, and you're
correct.
38. Oh, what is wrong with you? Failure, loser, all those stories. So that was the stress that was going on in my life. And then I was so irritated and agitated with myself. And I hated my job because I thought, I'm just wasting my life. I don't even like what I'm doing. Then I would come home, and all that, frustration and irritation I would pour on my poor, small little kids. Just little things that they would do would just, like, I would just snap, and then I would feel guilt and shame. And then I would, have these fights with my husband, because I was all, you can't give when your cup is empty, and you can't
Uh,
give when you're full of pain yourself. And so I was spreading pain, and not, I was spreading that pain in my, and then feeling even more shame and more guilt, like bad
so
mother,
it's the
bad
spiral.
wife. It was a
So
downward spiral.
how did all this change, and now what all do you offer now to the world? Courses, books? Do you create coaches? If you want to learn EFT, where should we go?
Yeah. So what I do now is I work in my group programs. I have group programs, like I'm
Wow.
running a program right now, it's called emotional detox. So basically, it's kind of like a, spring cleaning the emotional cupboards of your life, because emotions, what I discovered, the astonishing power of emotions in our lives, not only in our relationships and everything, but in our health. Emotions are simply energy in motion. And when we have unexpressed, unresolved, undigested, unprocessed emotional baggage, that stuck energy that was supposed to be in motion. And when you have all this stuck energies, like energy jams in your system, then you're going to experience, dis-ease in your physical body and in your job and in all areas of your life. So I do emotional detox programs. I do something called 90 days to personal peace, where I, help people. It's a similar process, but focusing on the physical pain and how to get to the root of the physical pain, which is actually what I share in this book as well. So if I wrote this book because, it's a simple process, and I share exactly. So even though it says chronic pain, I teach in there. In part 2, you learn exactly how you can use EFT to deal with the daily stresses, you know, everyday stresses. And we all experiences a lot of stress, even though we may not be aware, because we are so used to being stressed. Everybody's stressed, stress is normal. And so we don't think much about it. But it's like, you talk about it, I'm sure, Sunny, about, your emotional hygiene. It's like,
Yes.
we are taught as kids that while we have all this COVID, sanitizer and
Sanitizer and mask.
everything, and brush your teeth every day. Every kid knows that we have to shower and wash our hands and brush our teeth. We don't talk about what do we do with
Going on
our mental,
inside.
emotional. Yeah, and so in this book, I share with you how you can use EFT to just clean every day. I think of EFT as a jhadu. It's a cleaning tool.
So what age should we, start EFT? Whom should we
As
work? Yeah.
as early as possible. So my niece was 2.5, and she's much younger than my kids. And I taught her, and she has a video, like, she says, "All cuff go away, back pains go away." She does it in a very cute way. But I always encourage. You are doing NLP. Our stuff starts when we are kids. Our stuff, our, all our, we are conditioned at 0 to 7 years of age. And I believe that kids should learn this, and if parents know it, they can do it for their kids. And I was tapping with my kids every single day for 15, from age 7 till age 18, every day. And they used to say me, yeah, they used to ask, like, why do we have to do this every day? I said, don't you shower in the morning? We live in a hot country, Thailand. You shower in the morning, you shower in the evening. So we're going to shower the mind and emotions, and at night also
Beautiful.
before we shower. So they are just there. It's in their blood now. They, if anything happens, they start tapping. If is stress about college or girlfriend or anything, tests coming up, they just clear the stress. So that's why it should start as early as possible, and it's really begins with parents. If they do it,
Yes.
it's monkey see, monkey do. If I'm doing it, they know, they're seeing it, and it's just part of my family's life. My husband does it, I do it, my kids have been doing it. So yeah, starting as early as possible is
Beautiful.
great. Yeah, and
So we should
basically
take
looking,
up your course and we should create a legacy, at least for us and our loved ones.
you can, if you don't want to join the course, I have a YouTube channel. It's called EFT with Shalini, in which I have over 240 videos. And in there, I share with you how you can use tapping for pain relief, how you can use tapping for releasing anger, how you can use tapping for forgiving yourself, for limiting beliefs, for overwhelm, for lacking clarity or anxiety or whatever. There's like hundreds of videos there, so you can start there.
240 is a good number to learn
Yeah,
and to master and to help and to reach out.
yeah. And so there's a book which you can learn from, and also
Yes.
there's free EFT videos. And I have so many. If you go to the video, you'll see comments, and I have people who've overcome depression, never talking to me, never connecting with me, just sending messages on the YouTube channel that, oh my God, this really helped me, and it's come out. So I don't even meet those people, but that's my little social service.
Beautiful.
Uh, Serving. And I know that anybody can tap along. You can just follow along with the videos, and you will see shifts, whether you're stressed or if you're in pain or whatever you're going through. Give it a
Yeah.
try. It's free. It's
Yes.
at fingertips. No side effects. And
I'm super
you,
excited. Yeah.
yeah,
So, what is your big goal, big mission now?
you are asking me this question at a very interesting time in my life. Uh, Sunny, now we're having this honest conversation. My biggest goal in my life, which I repeat to myself every day, is just to be free of myself. And
That's
that is,
spiritual, but what about materialistic? What about EFT mission? Create healers all across. EFT in every house.
yeah, that's the purpose of this book. And hopefully I write some more books, because in 2000, what I don't tell in this book, actually I mentioned it a little bit, is in 2018, after being a pain relief expert for 12 years, I was at menopause. My kids were going to US, it was empty nest. And I was in this cross section stage of my life. And I found myself, and there was a lot of stress, not a lot, like huge issues that came up in 2018. And by 2019, I had autoimmune disorder, which means every single joint in my body was in pain. And it was like, okay, it's menopause, and you're 50, you're growing older. I knew that was all crap. I know my body. I'm like a Sherlock Holmes with my body. And I knew that it's all that stuff that happened in 2018, where a lot of painful discoveries were made. And my dad went through a brain stroke, and some friends went through a very, painful relationship
Yeah.
breakdown. And these were people I knew. So it was even more painful. It's not just clients that I'm having, it was people I knew from my childhood. So my body was storing all that pain, and I hadn't been able to release it, even though I was doing a lot of cleaning. It was just like a tsunami, and I came under it. And I healed myself out of that autoimmune disorder, out of the arthritic pain. And that's when I met Dr. Joe in New York,
Yes.
because I was there to leave my son. And he said, are you writing that book? And that's when I really said, this was the second time I had healed myself out of my chronic pain.
Yes.
That's when I decided I'm going to write this book. But I also decided I'm going to write a book on this menopause, or I don't know what it's going to be, but it's about women 50s, and we think, oh, this is natural, you're 50, you've got this, and you will have arthritic pain. And if you Google autoimmune disorders, it says no cure. There's no cure, you just keep taking medications. But I'm living proof, like I can dance, I can jump, I can move my body. And so what's next? I think something along another book eventually, and also just doing a lot of talks and workshops to
Yes, world
empower
needs
people.
you, and world has a bigger plan, definitely. So that is
Yeah,
the reason, because world keeps throwing challenges, and you've healed yourself, and you keep healing yourself every day. We all need healing. So yes, we should come to you, and we should come to your channel. We should read your book,
yes. Do
and
do
it's so
explore the channel.
important.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely,
So
definitely.
amongst all these serious questions, what makes you smile?
What makes me smile? uh I'm at a before when I wrote this book, when I was married, my dream was that I wanted to do something that I really enjoyed, that I really loved. I wanted to uh, live in nature. I'm a Pahari. I'm from the mountains. I'm from
And
Nainital originally,
yes,
and
beautiful hill station.
yeah, and I studied in boarding school there. Actually, I'm originally from there as well. My grandmother was there. So I loved the mountains, and I lived in Bangkok city, and I ached for the mountains. So, uh, it's just so happened that like I was telling you earlier, I'm in Rayong, and I'm in a golf course, and I'm surrounded by open skies and greenery, and, doing what I feel called to do, soul calling. And I meditate. So I'm living the life that I wanted to. And I'm very much very spiritual. So I have a very spiritual routine, and it's a simple life which I really like. I can so yeah, it's a very, very simple. My friends are all in Bangkok, and it's happening, it's city, and there's lots of stuff going on. I'm just listening
Parties.
to the code. I like my stillness. I like my peace. I like the quiet. And luckily, my husband is like that as well. And my kids are gone to New York, both of them. So we don't need to be in the city. And so as soon as they left, I moved my, uh, you know, uh, yeah, that's what makes me smile. I'm just very grateful that I, you know, I do a lot of reflection, and we're all chasing the next goal and the next thing to whatever. But I've realized that you'll never be happy if you're just chasing a goal. You'll never be happy, and I'm happy right now. I'm
Yes.
happy right now. In this moment, I'm happy. So whatever happens
So
next
I'll go
is
back to your spiritual statement. Free yourself from yourself
yes. That's
and be
my
happy.
goal.
Yeah, that
My
is a
goal is
beauty, and that is what we need to learn. And I wish you all the best in your material and spiritual journey. Every
thank you so
minute
much.
spent with you was magical, spiritual, peaceful, and I'm sure you will continue to smile and heal many, so that they deal everything with joy. Thank you so much, Shalini. I wish you all the
Thank you
best.
so
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you.